first video back in a while. Tiburon is stored and now I have this. This is my winter car, my 2015 Mazda 3. And since I have it here and I have had it for the last 2 years, I'm thinking it's a good idea to make a video on it as well and kind of go over kind of a tour of the car, what I like about it and what I don't like about it. It's a 2015 Mazda 3 GS, so it has the halogen lights. It did have alloy rims, which was nice. It comes with cloth interior. It's slightly dirty because of all the salt. So I haven't done too much to this car yet. Clearly it's a winter car, so you can't really do too much to it anyways, but I have black badges, probably gonna do the rear as well. Maybe the mirrors, a chrome delete on the side. I don't really like that chrome too much. I'm probably gonna leave the front just because it looks nice with the blacked out grille. Possibly a roof rack, but we'll see because it's kind of expensive. I did pick up some small eyelids for the front, changed the wheels. They're pretty much the exact same spec as my OEM wheels, so no change there. I think they look so much better with the car, except when they're salty, they turn straight up white, which sucks, but that's black wheels for you. When it comes to what I think about the car in general, I think that this is the champagne of sedans, especially winter cars. This car does so well in winter. I've never had an issue with it starting. It's super reliable, never complains. Mazdas, they've come up so much with the reliability and they look great. Just the general design of the car is really nice. For a 2015 and a Mazda, especially if you change out the wheels, do some chrome deletes, it can look pretty good for what it is. Even in the rear, just the body shape of the car is really nice. The rear tail lights look really mean. They're almost kind of like lightly tinted. Moving on to the interior, mostly because it says it's -2, but it definitely feels like -20. The heating and cooling in this car is actually really good. It's super fast. That's pretty important if you live in like a cold area. So one of the big selling points of this car for me was definitely the interior. As you can see, it's really interesting and really nice for a Mazda 3. Just the design of the front dash, everything kind of flows together, especially when it's all black interior. It looks really cool, especially with the red detailing. We've got kind of fake carbon fiber trim pieces around here. We have some red stitching that goes with the gauge. There's also red stitching all around the front here, which is really nice. I added all the little extra red bits to kind of flow with it more. And I really love the front gauge cluster. I don't know if you can see all the details with it. It's really nice to look at. Of course, the touchscreen is a really nice feature. You control it with the dials here, super easy to use. The volume knob is down here, and then you have kind of important buttons over there. So it's all really convenient, easy to follow, easy to use. The touchscreen comes with the GS and the GT model. I forget what the base model is, but the base model, it just comes with like a smaller screen. I don't think it's a touchscreen. The base model and the GS have a lot of shared features. The seats are the same. The exterior of the car looks the same. I think they do have hubcaps while this one has alloys, but a lot of the interior is the same. I believe the base model also has these same front dials. These aren't my favorite. They remind me so much of like a 90s toaster oven, but you know, it's a small little thing with the rest of the interior looking actually pretty fun to be in. The cloth seats are interesting. They're very ribbony, which I really didn't like at first, but after dealing with it for a while, they've kind of grown on me. It's nice that they have like some kind of design with them, and they are nicely bolstered. They're super comfortable. You wouldn't think looking at it, they seem like they're super hard and rigid, but it feels like you're on a couch. And it's also super wide in here. Like, this is a pretty big car. You wouldn't think looking at it, but compared to the Tiburon, this thing is huge inside. It's kind of like an SUV, or to me it feels like it, and fitting this thing in the garage is a bit of a nightmare. When it comes to the controls of this car, everything is pretty simple. On the steering wheel, you get to skip the songs, change the volume, the info button, the call buttons, all that. When it comes to the info button, the only thing it really changes is this one little screen here, so you don't really use it too often. You get your push to start, which is great. Climate control, I mean, it's so straightforward. You can just see everything that there is there, which is nice. Nothing that's too difficult or can only be accessed through the touchscreen. Everything is kind of where you need it right here, which is super convenient, easy to find. There's no problem while driving. And I'm not sure if it's all of the GS models. I know specifically, I think in Canada, all of them come with the auto headlights. They also have automatic wipers, which is awesome. Never had that before, and it's great. Even though it has a bunch of automated features, the seats though are still gonna be the manual slide back seats, which is not too big of a deal, but yeah, if you have push to start and a lot of these automatic things, you'd think the seats might have some power to them, especially the driver, but both of them are the manual. Another thing I forgot to mention about the touchscreen is that it's pretty basic, like it's just music and a couple of the features, like you can turn off the automatic headlights and wipers. There's no CarPlay or GPS in there. You can put it on though, it's an extra cost, it's kind of expensive. I know at least the CarPlay is $500, I don't know about the GPS, but yeah, it doesn't come in the GS models. So once you're driving in this car, there's a few things that you notice. The thing I love the most is how comfortable this car is and how great the suspension is. This is probably the bumpiest road in my area, and you can tell because my camera probably isn't staying still. And all you hear when you're going over bumps is just like the wheels hitting the bumps. Meanwhile, in my other car, everything possible in the car will shake. This, it feels like such a solid car. There's no bump steer, it feels like a cloud. Like, it's some of the best suspension and ride quality. It really does the Tiburon dirty when I drive these right after each other. Not only are like the seats and just the way the car is very comfortable, but it does have a very ergonomic feel to it. It gives you a very like enclosed, kind of in your own space feel. That with the screen that's comfortably in front of you, you can see it but doesn't distract you from the road. All the buttons are pretty good arm's length distance where you can kind of lay back in your seat and everything you need to touch is right there. Super easy to find. So it's a very calming experience driving this car. The turning radius and the control on this car is really good. The steering wheel is super light, really easy to turn. You can literally just do it with like a finger. It's like most sedans, you know, they're not sports cars. They don't have a really low center of gravity. So you feel a little bit of the body roll. The braking and the acceleration is also really good. The braking isn't too sensitive, it's not too hard. And for a 4-cylinder engine, it does have a decent amount of pickup and pep to it. Easy to control and slow down. Another thing I really like about it is, I don't know if you can tell, but the windshield is actually super tall. And the windows as well, they're also pretty tall, so it's very easy to check your blind spots. One thing I'm not so much a fan of, you can probably hear it over the microphone, but there is a good amount of cabin noise. It's coming from the windows or the doors. You can kind of, it sounds a bit like the windows are cracked open, but I mean, majority of the time you're driving, you have the radio on or music anyways, so it's not a big fuss. That's my Mazda 3 so far. It's been a great daily, great winter car. Even if you want to modify these, their aftermarket support is getting really good lately. So much you can do with like the headlights, tail lights. Seen some of these looking really good lowered too, so who knows what could happen in the future with this car. It definitely has what it takes to last a really long time. Super reliable, super comfortable, great family car. So yeah, we'll see what happens.